Full name is Anton Matthew Zanzinger, nicknamed Tony, Staff Sergeant. And when we're flying, it was 10 o'clock at night. You couldn't see. Then we hit the channel and the moon came out. And we could see thousands of boats. And these are guys are going to go in the morning. But you actually saw the fleet of ships on that channel. That's all you saw were ships on that channel. We're flying. Now, when we jump, so you jumped out of the plane and all you saw was red, green, blue, purple. This is flak coming up at you. The Germans are shooting at you. And you say, why do they want to kill us? What did we do? But it was so powerful, the explosions and things like that. You could see some planes get hit. And when I jumped out, my chute opened and I looked to the side. From here, maybe about 20 yards away, here comes a plane right at me. Dead center, one of our planes. They were flying all over. They were taking evasive action with all this flak and all coming up. And I had to pull my knees up or I'd have been hit. That's when we were supposed to jump at 600 feet. I jumped with the amount of anti-aircraft, they take evasive action. My plane went up to 1,500 feet. I was supposed to jump at 100. When we jumped, it was doing 150. Well, that's about as fast as these C-47s can go. That's what the type plane we went in. We jump out the side. By the way, in the plane, before we load up, we had made bundles. They had like ammunition in them, medical supplies, anything that we need to survive. And we've had like 2 bundles under each plane and 1 inside, right by the door. The one by the door was a fallacy, because the planes were rocking back and forth and the bundles were moving, and you had to climb over it. And you couldn't get out of it, but it was terrible. But these are the things that we had before we, when we jumped. And on the way down, you could hear the bullets going through your chute and the webbing. And a lot of guys got hit because there's so much power coming up there. And you can see all the tracers and all coming up. But between one tracer and another tracer, there might be 3 bullets with nothing. So you have a constant stream of metal coming up at you. I landed on the ground. All right. When we flew, by the way, and that plane stacked at 9 was almost 300 miles long. That's how many planes were in the sky. Somewhere between 250 and 300 miles. So all these planes are going over. And when I jumped out, the shock that I had from 150, I lost all my equipment. I had part of a machine gun on my leg. I had my mess kit, my canteen. I had a rifle underneath my harness, M1, a full stock. We didn't have the carbines. They didn't make them yet. They were full in stock. So I had a full, it stand about that high. And it broke a lot of guys' bones because it was under the harness with that terrific shock. I was black and blue, my whole body up and down. So I lived with that. And when we landed, I hit the ground real hard. And I was at a daze for a while. Then I look around, I don't see anybody. Now, I looked up, I saw the planes, I knew which way they were going, and I knew that I had to go the opposite way, because I knew we went over our objective. Our objective, by the way, were locks and bridges. That's the big objective we had with the airborne. All right? Now when I landed, there weren't any Germans around. It was like a practice jump. but the next day, that's when they came. But when I landed, I didn't know a soul, couldn't see too well. I started to go south because I knew that's where I had to go to watch the planes. And as I went, if I saw someone, I would challenge them. We had a password. In other words, if I saw you, I would say, flash, you come back, thunder or welcome. No, if you're American, you come back, thunder or welcome. Now, if I saw you and I said flash and you were German, you come back. And if you knew the password, you would come back, thunder, welcome. Might give himself away. So you had to be careful. All right. Also earlier in the morning, still dark, the Germans caught on. If I said flash, he could take his rifle and pull the bolt back and let me know, because I'll tell you why. We had a verbal password, then we had what we call the clickers, okay? In other words, if I saw you, I challenge you, I click my clicker. And if it was German, if you're American, you come back, click, click. I got clickers here somewhere. They're in the back of me. No, I won't get them now, but anyhow, we use the clicker. That's how we got together 90% of the time. So those two passwords worked. In the morning I was with 12 men. I didn't know a soul. Didn't know a one. 2 men were even from the 82nd Airborne. That's how scattered around we were. So as we're going along, if we saw wires, we'd cut them. If we saw vehicles, we'd disarm them. Anything to disrupt communication. How to arm ourselves? From dead GIs that are around, the bundles were down on the ground. And by the way, we could get the bundles for about 2 hours. But after that, don't go near them, because the Germans either had them booby trapped or zeroed in. So we got, I got all equipment from bundles. I was lucky. I got a gun, machine gun I got, and like I got canteen, I got water, different ends that we carry. You have your shovel, the trench shovel, that you needed because we had to dig foxholes. All these things that I accomplished, I dug up from some bundles and taken off of dead GIs. They were all around.